Recursion is a technique that allows a program to call itself one or more times until a specified condition is met. Once the condition is met, the calculations are then processed from the last one called to the first. So let's start off with a pretty simple example so that we can get a really good understanding of how recursion works. So we will do factorial. And you might already be familiar with this because it's pretty common. So we have n factorial, which is the same as n times n minus 1 times n minus 2 times n minus 3, and so on and so forth. Well, we can actually rewrite this as n factorial is equal to n times n minus 1 factorial. And with that, then we can assume we have a function called factorial that takes n. And what we can do is we can say, well, the answer to that is equal to n times the factorial of n minus 1. So we can have this function represent this right here. So what does this look like when we try to calculate from the last called to the first? Well, we can look at the call stack, right? And so we'll draw it out right here. Put a couple of rows in. And so we have main, and then we have we'll say factor of 5, factor of 4, factor of 3, factor of 2, and then we'll add another one right here just for clarity, and we will put 1 there. So when we go to unwind, actually scratch that, we'll go this way, right? So we start at the main function, so this is the start. So as we do our executions, we then call factorial of 5, which then calls factorial of 4, which then calls factorial of 3, 2, and then at the end we have 1. So this is the order as it executes. So remember, I said recursion calculations are processed from the last one called. So this is the last call is the 1, and now we begin unwinding our stack. So we will have 1 times factorial of 2 times factorial of 3 times factorial of 4 times factorial of 5, and then our value is returned. So now that we have a good understanding of how this works, let's go implement this in Rust so that we can really see it in action.